Yo, what's up, everybody? October the 26th here, a Thursday. I hope you're all doing very well. It's been a while since I posted a video. I was on a vacation for 3 weeks with my parents in Hawaii, and now I'm finally back home, settled back, no more jet lag, and perfect timing. It could not have gotten any better because as soon as I came back, that's when Bitcoin started to break these massive all time highs. So, today I'm going to talk to you guys about many factors that are going to contribute to your success as a day trader and as an investor, and how you are most likely or how you should approach this type of market to make sure that you're doing the best that you possibly can, to make sure you're staying disciplined, and some of the key things that need to be done for you to ultimately capitalize to the maximum in this type of bull market. But first of all, we're going to do a Bitcoin technical analysis. Thank you very much for joining me. For all of those who have been following me for a long time, my name is Philakone Crypto, and I've been in the crypto space for about 8 years now. I've been through two major bull markets and two major bear markets where I was able to actually capitalize on all of them. And this will be my third bull market where I'm very excited about. The first bull market was like, what's going on? This is just too fast. And then after the bull market, you spend the entire bear market digesting and dissecting what happened just so you can catch yourself up. And then the second bull market, you have more experience from the first bull market and the second or the first bear market, and then you really know what you're doing after that. And that's where it started to shine. My skills started to kick in, and my experience definitely kicked in, and I was able to capitalize immensely from the months of August to the end of November, early December there, where I was making anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000 a month there day trading on top of the long-term portfolio. So now this third bull market is coming, and I've got some massive experience under my belt, and I've created a system that I know will work. I'm actually developing another course right now that is going to be about 10 hours long, which is something you guys will definitely want to focus on and pick up, because I've already announced it to my Discord group what it's going to talk about. I'll just tell you guys really quickly. It's going to talk about a summary of the specific strategies that I'll be using, 10 hours long. It's going to have a short version of Elliott wave theory and exactly what you need to know and what you don't need to know, and exactly how it's going to be used with each strategy. And the strategies will be very specific that I'll be using. For example, it'll be shorting the fifth Elliott wave counts or trading only continuation patterns. And it's also going to talk about what to avoid as well and how to trade these breakouts so you don't get bull trapped every time. And it's also going to talk about only patterns, like using only patterns to trade these continuations, using EMA and chandelier exit to gauge the trend. And then we're going to talk about using RSI only to spot bearish and bullish signs, and also using MACD to detect breakouts and patterns. I'm also developing this massive Excel sheet that goes through the different phases of the rallies in a bull market, ranging from the wave 1 rally to the wave 2 correction to the wave 3 rally to the wave 4 correction to the very final fifth wave. And what we're going to develop is a funnel type system where you're trying to look for the breakouts of the wave 1. So just think about it for a moment, okay? You're in a bull market. How do you track all of these coins that are moving? It's almost impossible unless you develop an actual system that's going to be able to create like a funnel type system where, for example, if a coin is doing nothing at the beginning, then all of a sudden it starts rallying, then that's going to make it into the list of the wave 1 rally progression. And then there you're going to be able to measure different types of metrics. And then once that's done, it's going to go through the filter system into the wave 2 correction. And in the wave 2 correction, we're going to make a bunch of notes talking about how much the correction has dropped, what is the Fibonacci retracement, is it making any identifiable pattern, was the wave before that moving linearly or parabolically, what is the difficulty to trade this particular coin, what is the prediction for the next possible price point based off of Fibonacci extension. So we're basically looking at the wave 2 correction after wave 1 has finished, so we can time a breakout and trade the continuation. And we're also going to ask questions like, during wave 2's breakout, has it now exceeded the high of the wave 1 price point? And just like for wave 4, when it breaks out, has it now exceeded the price point of wave 3's high? What type of patterns are these forming? Can we trade the continuation pattern? So we're going to get these coins that break out, put them into a funnel system, and track every single wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a bunch of different metrics, so we can keep track of every single coin that's moving. This way, every time we log on, we're going to have a highly detailed Excel spreadsheet of what to update and exactly which coins we could be focusing on. Unless you have a system like this, you are not going to succeed in the next bull market. You have to make sure that there's a system that allows you to track every single coin that's moving. So you don't just log on every day and be like, oh yeah, this coin's moving, I'm going to trade this coin because it's moving. That is unfortunately just not enough. So I'm going to teach you guys in this next course, which will be very cheap, by the way. It's only going to be $250. It's also going to get you access to my Discord group, and you're definitely going to want to trade with me in the Discord group. So let's go over Bitcoin first of all. A lot of people have been asking me, hey, Philakone, are you bullish on Bitcoin? Do you believe that we've hit the bottom? And is this breakout a false breakout or not a false breakout? So I'm going to answer it in this specific way for you. First of all, Bitcoin has faced a major resistance for the past 2 years and 1 month now. You guys would all agree with me that this white line right here has been marking a major resistance all the way from the dating back. I'm going to go to the 4 days so you can see it a little bit more clearly. Here's January of 2021. Here's May, June, and July of 2021 where it held as a support. Then finally it breaks below it. As you can see right over here, it breaks below it. And then it tries to break back above 31K, which marks that resistance. And then it tries to break above it once here. It tries to break above it a few times here for actually 4 or 5 weeks, but it fails. And finally, we smash above it with record volume for the year. This was substantial, the volume that it took to require to break above there, and finally did. On top of the market cap, which I'll get into, and the BTC dominance, which is skyrocketing as well. So finally, after about 1,000 days, we broke above it. Now, it doesn't matter to me if I'm bullish or bearish. All that matters is what the market is telling me. My feelings and my thoughts, they're completely irrelevant to the market conditions or what you should believe as well for whatever I believe. It doesn't matter, because all that we should see is that the market has now broken above a significant resistance for 2 years and 10 months. So because of that, we have to take a look at other metrics as well to see what is going on and to see if this is actually a bullish trend. So this would be a bearish trend if we were to fall back below the $31,000 region. Is that actually possible? Highly possible, but is it likely? Probably unlikely, right? So all these things that we're scared of, they could happen, but is it actually likely to happen? In my opinion, no. Okay, so we're going to gauge it based off of moving averages, and we're going to gauge it also off of chandelier exits, okay? So let's start off with the 50 exponential moving average. I prefer to use the 50 exponential moving average because it's weighted differently and it's better for short-term traders. So it's one of the moving averages I've been using for a very long time now. And in this bull market, I expect to generate a massive profit of day trading anywhere between, I'm going to guess, 3 to 10 million for day trading profits, considering I'll be trading with $1 million sizes on top of my multi-million dollar portfolio that I hold right now. For those that are wondering what kind of coins that I currently hold, these are the coins that I'm holding right now in my portfolio. It is heavily diverse. I'm going to move my camera just so you guys can see it. I hold 35% Bitcoin, 15% Ethereum, and the rest are all divided between these coins right here. Okay, I'm carrying a tremendous amount of coins that are highly diversified. My number one coin that I carry right now is Solana and also Algorand and Cardano. I'm still a big fan of these coins, and also Matic as well. Matic is my rank number 4 coin. So these guys here, I believe, are going to do some tremendous impact in the market. But also keep in mind that the statistics says that 90% of all coins that have reached an all-time high in the previous bull market will never exceed that all-time high again. And that's a true statistic. So because of that, we can confidently say that there needs to be a major focus on potentially new moving coins that come into the market. So I anticipate that in 2024, many coins will be emerging in the market that could be hot contenders to make all-time highs and do these 10,000, 20,000% gains, or even some coins that are already here. For example, we're seeing some coins like Bond. We're seeing some coins like, I'm just going to go to the list to show you guys some of them that have been moving, like Front as well. These coins have been making some major movements, like Hook as well. These new coins that have come up, we've got to do some major research in them and to find out what type of sector they're in and how they're fighting against these other coins. Because these older coins already had the potential to rally in 2021, like Sol, like Phil, like Bell, like Gala, like AXS. Now, these coins, 90% says that they will not exceed these all-time highs ever again. Therefore, we are forced to take a look at new coins to see what is out, and we are forced to invest in these types of coins. So make sure you're keeping cash on hand as well to make sure that you are able to invest in these new types of coins that are emerging, because you just never know. They may end up doing 20,000% profits. So right now, let's take a look at the EMA, starting with daily on the 50, okay? So the 50 EMA on the daily would most likely be one of the main ones you'd be looking at to see if Bitcoin is bullish on a shorter term. And you can see that it's always going to oscillate up and down. Every single year that you're in a bull market, it's always going to oscillate before the bull market begins. So the 2023 year is equivalent to the 2019 year, is equivalent to the 2015 year as well, because what we've seen so far is that Bitcoin has been oscillating in a 4-year cycle. So if we actually take a look and date back to Bitcoin, say we'll just go back to 2019, okay? So you're going to see that in 2019, Bitcoin here goes above the 50 EMA, below it, above it, below it, above it, below it. Eventually a bull market begins, and what happens is this, okay? So, for example, in 2019, Bitcoin, which is the equivalent to 2023 year, okay? So just imagine for a moment that we're like in November. This range right here, we made a massive rally, but in early next year, we made a drop well below the lows that we're in now, okay? So that's still possible. For the bears that are wondering, is it still possible to have another major drop? Yeah, it is possible. We've seen it right here, and it shows that near the end of the year, we started rallying all the way till February, and then we had a major capitulation of over 60%. But that's fine. I'm prepared for that. I'm just going based off of what we see right now, that we have created a new high to $36,000. And even if there's another drop, that's where I have cash on hand and I'm going to buy even more. So we see that eventually it hovers above below the 55 EMA. And then eventually, the 50 EMA, I've changed it now. Eventually, it stays consistently above the 50 EMA for the entire duration of the bull market. Just like how we see in 2017 as well, if it'll load. I'm not sure why it's not loading here. I'll go to a different chart here. So 2017, you can see that the 50 EMA held pretty decent as well. It does drop below it a few times. Okay? But you can see right here that Bitcoin is finally really expanding and stretching far away from the 50 EMA. So think of the exponential moving averages as an elastic band, where the price point will eventually stretch well above it or below it. The more it stretches above it and stays above it, and there's a gap between the price point and the EMA, I'm referring to this gap right here, that shows how bullish it is. So right now, there's no choice but for us to believe and understand that we have snapped far away from the 55 EMA and also well above the $31,000 price point. So it's very difficult for us to assume that we're in a bearish market right now based off of this. Not only that, if you take a look at the 50 EMA on the weekly, you can see that during a bull market, okay, well, first of all, in 2019, we stayed above it, then we dropped slightly below it, went back above it, dropped really much so below it. And then eventually, it starts the bull market where we stay very far above it. Not only does it stay far above it, but it expands. You see the gap expanding? The gap ends up expanding and gets further between the price point and the EMA. And when that expansion happens, that's where you know we are heavily in a bull market. Okay. Right now, you can see that we are snapping very far away from this EMA. And also on the monthly says the same thing. The 50 EMA on the monthly has traditionally held for a very long time now. And you can see that if you just extrapolated it here, it goes all the way back to like 2012, 2013. And you can see that it slightly dips below, but we have recovered and have printed a mega green candle on this October month so far, with volume as well, I might add. Okay, so this is a very impressive type of candle. So now we've talked about the 50 EMA and we've established that it is definitely bullish based off of the 50 EMA. What about the 200 EMA, which is a gauge of the longer term trend? So on the daily for the 200 EMA, we can see that during a bull market, let's go all the way back to 2017. So in 2017, you can see that the 200 moving average has always held below. And you can see this type of expansion as well. Small expansion, bigger, even bigger, huge. So as it expands like that, that's how you know that there's a parabolic rally that's occurring in 2017. And in 2021, a very similar thing has occurred as well, where there's a massive expansion and then it gets smaller and smaller and eventually breaks down. Okay, so 2021, 2017, very similar thing. But as you can see that we have been bearish in 2018, below the 200 moving average for a very long time. And then it is only until April of 2019 that we break well above it and the bull market really does begin. Okay, so this one here, the 2019 year, it reached a high, but like I mentioned, it made a low. And then early in 2020, which is equal to the 2024 year, there's still a possibility that it drops below here, below the 200 moving average again, and prints a new low. So I want to be very clear about that on the bearish side, that there's still some possibility of a major drop. But if this one last capitulation does occur, I would be extremely happy because I have a lot of cash on hand and I'm anticipating that there's a possibility that this could happen. But once that happens, you can see that in 2021, it just keeps going, right? It just keeps going, and the expansion happens even further. So right now, the way that we've seen it is that it has stayed bearish below the 200 moving average for a long time. And then it slightly stays above it with a few dips, gets below it again, but now we're smashing our way above it. So there's still a possibility that we could fall below it in early of 2024 before the halving. But during the halving years, of course, there's a major accumulation and distribution period. So in my opinion, it's very unlikely to occur. I think that we've actually reached the all-time high already. There's a small chance of capitulation, but an unlikely chance in my opinion. But if it does happen, that's going to be a great time for you to purchase even further. So to answer your question, is Bitcoin bullish? Well, based off of EMAs, based off of the 200 and the 50 EMA, there's no other choice but to believe that we are bullish. And also, if you take a look at the 200 EMA on the weekly chart, we are extremely bullish, where we fell down slightly below it, hovered above it, and bounced heavily right here above the 200 EMA. So there's no choice but to believe that we're in a very bullish setting right now, which is based off of the most basic technical analysis out there. And also, if you take a look at the weekly chandelier exit indicator, we are trending extremely bullishly above the green line over here. In 2021, you'll see that there were periods during the consolidation where 2018, right, it was below the red, then 2019 above the green, then that major correction that occurred, right, that one last dip that occurred, that got a new low for that year, and then eventually it turns green and it just keeps going. So if you take a look right now, we have turned red only once and then green, right? And then we could keep going, or it can go back and forth between green and red. Because if you take a look at here in 2018 to 2019, it goes red, green, red, green. We've only gone from red, green once, unless you factor this in where it goes from red, green, right? If you factor in that April low that we reached and then the second rally for the double top, okay? So because some people might be considering that a double top. If you take a look at 2014 to 2015, you see that it goes from red, green, and then eventually it just stays green the entire time and does these mega rallies. So the weekly is an extremely prominent chandelier exit indicator, which measures the volatility. So in my opinion, we may just stay bullish for the first time without alternating any further. So based off of chandelier exit indicators and EMAs, it's very difficult for me to believe that we are in a bear market, right? You just got to go with what the data is telling you. There's a lot of people in my Discord group on Twitter that are saying that these are fake rallies. Well, yeah, but saying that it's a fake rally, it's only guessing at best. So if you take a look at some other metrics right now, such as the Bitcoin dominance, it printed another high already for the year at 54%. What traditionally happens is money is taken out of the altcoin market and put into the Bitcoin market. Hence, a transfer of wealth that creates a Bitcoin dominance that's higher. So when Bitcoin rallies, the Bitcoin dominance will be really high and money is extracted from the altcoin market and put into the Bitcoin market. Hence, the Bitcoin dominance going to the upside. I would not be surprised in any way if Bitcoin gets to at least 57% or even higher. So we have printed massive Bitcoin dominance right now. We broke that 48.5% Bitcoin dominance for the year, and now we're just skyrocketing. Okay, there's another important metric, which is the total market cap. So if you take a look here in the past few weeks, since like April the 14th or so, or sorry, August the 14th, whatever, we've actually increased the market cap by about 25%. So new money is being injected into the current market right now, 100%. But the bad news is that we are now at a major resistance in this zone, okay? This zone right here of around $1.25 trillion, okay? This is actually the same type of resistance that is at $31,000, okay? So the market cap, once again, this market cap of all of crypto of 1.25 trillion is equivalent to the Bitcoin resistance at $31,000. It needs a lot of money to be injected into the market for us to see these all-time highs that could be created again. Okay, so the total 2 market cap is all of the crypto market cap minus Ethereum, or sorry, minus Bitcoin. So if you take a look right here on this type of chart on a weekly, for example, or even a 2 weekly, you can see a possible descending triangle actually still printing. Okay, this has been here for a long time now. So if you take a look at the bearish side, it means that we are actually, so once again, the total 2 market cap is all of crypto minus Bitcoin. So basically Ethereum and everything else, just not Bitcoin. So this looks like it could be making a descending type of triangle. So another market cap to look at is the same one here for total 3. This one is also looking like a descending type of triangle. Total 3 refers to the entire market cap minus Bitcoin and also minus Ethereum. This also looks like it's printing a descending type of triangle. Okay, another really important coin to take a look at is this one here. This is the total 3, which the total 3 refers to this one. The total 3 refers to the entire crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and minus Ethereum. So the total 3 minus the market cap of USDT, okay? Does that make sense? The total 3 minus the market cap of USDT divided by Bitcoin's market cap. So what this tells you here is it tells you a ratio of basically altcoins and Ethereum, or sorry, Bitcoin and Ethereum compared, like minus USDT divided by the Bitcoin's market cap. So this gives you a ratio of the price of Bitcoin versus the altcoin market. So I'm going to explain that one more time. Total 3 is the total market cap of all of crypto minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you're taking that market cap minus the market cap of USDT, and you divide it by the market cap of Bitcoin. Okay, so what this gives you is a ratio. And as we can see here, for most ratios, when we have peaked at certain lows, the ratio of the Bitcoin versus the altcoin is usually around 0.25. That's where it bottoms out, except for this one anomaly, 0.25. But at the high of a bull market, it comes to parity at about 1 to 1. Okay, does that make sense? About 1 to 1. So right now, what this chart is showing is that it's on its way down. Okay, it's on its way down to get to a ratio of roughly 0.25. And if it gets to this ratio, you can expect a lot of people to be interested. And by the way, this credit goes out to Benjamin Cohen. He's the one that formulated this chart and has brought it to my attention. So always give credit where it's due. So this chart here shows that it's possible to get to the 0.25, 0.27 ratio of total 3 minus USDT divided by Bitcoin's market cap. And if that happens, that would be the perfect ratio for us to buy because it happened before. And then we can also say that the all-time high, when it does get reached, it would most likely come to parity, Bitcoin and the altcoins at a 1-to-1 ratio, just like how we did before. So this is a very interesting chart to show that it seems like there might be a possibility of us maybe making another low in 2024, just like how we made a low in 2020. So in 2020, we made this low right here, okay? For all those that don't remember, we made this low right there. Okay, so if that happens, it's going to be very, very scary. But if it does happen, it's going to signify that this last capitulation was most likely the final one. So right now, I have to be bullish. I have to maintain my stance of being bullish based off of the EMAs, based off of the market cap, based off of Bitcoin dominance, based off of chandelier exit indicator, based off of a gigantic trend line resistance of $31,000 that has been broken. So until then, I've got to maintain this very, very bullish stance, and there's no other way to see it. So I'm going to keep updating you guys more often. Thank you for excusing my absence. It was really important for me to go on a vacation with my parents. They're 74 years old now. So got to spend time with your parents while you can, because the last thing you want to do is have any regret. So thank you very much for joining me. For those that are new, welcome to my group. I'm Philakone. I've been in crypto for 8 years now. And my goal is to help you succeed and become a professional trader. So if you guys haven't followed me yet, make sure you're following me on Twitter, where I post the majority of my content that are, of course, free for everybody to learn and study from, where I'll teach you tips and tricks. And for those that are interested in joining my live trading group, we've got tons of members in here. Go to my Twitter, click on the bio site /Philakone, and you guys can join my private Discord trading group, where you're going to be surrounded with like-minded individuals that have the similar goals as you. You get access to me 24/7. You get to learn my strategies. You can ask me anything that you want. So have yourself a great night, and thank you very much for joining me. Bye now.